Our Verify team is committed to stopping the spread of misinformation and presenting you the facts about the things you see online. Now, with these frigid sub-zero temperatures that the polar vortex has brought across cities this week, there are some stunning photos being shared and retweeted on social media claiming this weather has caused vehicles on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago to get stuck under frozen sheets of ice. Pretty dramatic scenes here. But the question is, are these images, is this post legit? Now, to find out if the photos are really of a frozen tundra in Chicago, our researchers did a Google reverse image search of the two photos and discovered the photos are indeed real. They originated back in January 2005 on this page titled Ice and Wind on Geneva. That's Geneva, Switzerland, so not Chicago. The photographer was capturing the aftermath of an ice storm that hit the area. We also found that false caption picture has appeared on other sites and has been shared on social media before, like here on Facebook from a supposed New Hampshire ice storm way back in 2008. So we can verify, nope, these particular photos are definitely trying to deceive you with their captions, and they are most definitely not a reflection of what's going on with this current polar vortex sweeping through Chicago.
Although when you hear about the temperatures, you might look at that and think that's got to be real. But again, you got to be careful.
Scrolling through your page, you're going to come across a lot of fake stuff, so take everything with a grain of salt. If you see something you want verified, let our researchers get to the bottom of it. You can find us on Facebook or Twitter, or send an email to verify@WUSA9.com.